to put everything together and to share his perspective and in terms of their practices in their company. Our next speaker is the Senior Director for Building Administration and Engineering Department of Hinduja Global Solutions. He's also a member of CCAP's BCP Council as the Standards Group Advisor. He is an electrical engineer by profession, and through the CCAP BCP Council, he represented the IT BPO industry for the pilot test of the NDRRMC training for the private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frederick De Los Lado.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And then thank you to Mr. Lucero for the information, okay? So I guess you've learned about the classification of the tropical cyclone. We have 3. Did you remember what Mr. Lucero said? Okay. It's number 1 is tropical depression, and then the second is tropical storm, and then the typhoon. Okay, guys, why am I saying this? Because we need to equip ourselves, to think like Pag-asa so that we can disseminate proper information to our employees. So if we are, let's say, in the business continuity plan, and you are one of the, people who disseminate information, you need to be equipped with all of this. And we heard so many things about the color mapping, or sometimes they call it heat map. Heat maps, let's say, start from green, and then yellow, and then orange, and then it becomes red. Red means what? Extreme, di ba? So we also have labeling in terms of the level of flood. We have 7.5 to 15 mm, which is they considered it as heavy rains. And then intense rain is 15 mm to 30. And then the torrential rains, as what mentioned by Mr. Lagmay, is it's a 30 mm and above. So all of this, you will get confused if you will not be equipped with this leveling. So what we did in our company is we consolidate everything and make it simple. Okay, because it's all complex in nature. So when we had a meeting with the CCAP, together with John and Jojo and then Push, and then Miss Posey, it was agreed that we need to come up with the standard leveling. So if you have a BCP manual, we have level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Okay? The level of criticality, or sometimes they call it level of severity. So we prepare some slide. I think this is only few, but we can share this and then you can tailor fit it into your own company. We have a level of 1, 2, and 3. And then in due time, when we notice, we need to have a level 0. Level 0 stands for, so if, let's say, level 0, let's say if an LPA is approaching the par, so you cannot name it as level 1 or, or yellow. So in our classification, it is a level 0 or a green, wherein the condition is there is a possible LPA or a tropical storm or a cyclone that's approaching the area. So that if you mention level 0, and if you disseminate or communicate it, the employees may measure what will be the effect of the level 0. Okay, if there's a level 1, like PSWS or Public Storm Signal Number 1, wherein the lead time is 36 hours according to Pag-asa. So let's say when Pag-asa declared PSWS 1, it means to say that in your area, the lead time is 36 hours. If it is PSW 2, the lead time is 24 hours. If it is 3, it is 18 hours. And if it is a super typhoon or a signal number 4, it is 12 hours. That's a lead time. Okay, so we come up with all this labeling. And then when we, let's say, communicate it with our employee, in the subject, we just mention level 0, level 1, level 2, or level 3. So this labeling was actually benchmarked to the labeling method being done by the Pag-asa or even the MMDA on the flood level. So, next slide. Next, please. On the flood alert, as mentioned earlier, we have 7.5 to 15 mm, which is the heavy rains. And then 15 mm to 30, that is intense rain. And then the 30 mm is torrential. Okay. Guys, dapat malaman na natin to. We live in the Philippines. We are averaging 20 tropical cyclone in a year. Okay. 20 tropical cyclone in a year. Next. Okay, so again, we consolidate it. Signal number 1, 2, and then 3, and then signal number 4. So what do we do if we have this, labeling? So we should have we should institutionalize our action. If let's say we mean level 2, our employees will expect, what will the company do? Okay, next slide, please. So when they receive a level 2, it means to say that automatic, we will do, let's say, a free food, free transportation, or shuttle service, drop off or pick up point. So there's no need for you again to, let's say, communicate that there will be shuttle, that there will be free food. So we should communicate to our employees that when we mention this labeling, this will be our automatic action, and yours, you should know what to do as well. So if it is, let's say, level 1, automatic to us that dress down is in effect. So being the EBC head, what I normally do is to disseminate information and communicate to our employees about the Pag-asa advisory. So we have level 1, and then we also have service level. Let's say if you are level 1, the service level on regular communication is every 6 hours. If it is level 2, every 4 hours. If it is level 3, it is every hour. So it's automatic na sa amin. So what about the task force? Task force is a tactical group in a business continuity management. The disaster management team is the strategical group, the task force group, and then the operations. So we also do regular meeting during a disaster. So we have, let's say, if it is level 1, we are meeting daily. And then if it is level 2, we have every 6 hours we are doing a tactical meeting. And then level 3, every 4 hours. Next, please. Procurement. Okay, in our company, procurement is responsible for providing shuttle services. We have pick-up points and drop-off points. So, lahat naman siguro rito meron mga ganon. Tama ba ako? So, kung minsan, when we apply such control, we also need to monitor if our control is effective. Like for instance, the pick-up points. Napakaliit ng percentage ng pick-up points where you are implementing these activities. Let's say if you have a service van capacity of, let's say, 12, sometimes you can only pick up probably 3, maximum probably 4. No? Very, very low in efficiency. So when it comes to drop-off points, it's very high because the service van will be coming from the company and even the employees. No? So looking at that statistic, we can focus more on the drop of points and then think of a better way to serve our employees on the pickup side. Because let's say pickup points, you are retaining a risk, no, on the pickup points in terms of security. You might sacrifice security. Let's say if your service van will be in the service vehicle will be at around 8 p.m. the pickup point, and then when it leaves, may mga empleyado pa tayo 8:05 dumating, and then they will wait. It will pose security. And one instance is only, let's say, one instance of, getting mugged or employee got hurt because of this will have an effect entirely on your company. So some other companies are doing taxi reimbursement. So but we need to have a control in terms of there should be a gap in terms of reimbursement of the taxi fare. And at the same time, there should be a receipt. So it's up to you how to tailor fit your own. Okay, next please. Human resources. They're the one doing the regular text messaging to our employees. Some of our key personnel are, are using email for the information dissemination or in terms of communication. No? So for our agents, we use text messages. Next, please. And then the BAED. Normally, the BAED is the Building Administration and Engineering Department. When we have a disaster, the BAED is actually being converted into an emergency brigade team, or other is emergency brigade committee. So these are the legwork. So it is also defined in our simple table. So if let's say you're doing in the company is information dissemination, this is no longer effective to your employees. No, what we normally or what we should do is to communicate with our employees. Let's say when we send information to them, we need to call them or we need to ask them what's the status during a disaster. Getting those inputs or getting those data will actually improve your processes. Kung nagsisend lang kayo ng text and then just sending it, then it will not be effective at this time. No? Dapat we should apply more. We should extend more by showing care to our employees. No? Getting personal touch will actually give you a level of confidence in terms of your employees. No? Okay, let's say if all inclement typhoon, storm, ready, hit your area. You have the people, you have these controls, but normally the experience that sometimes your data center got affected as well due to the power failure. So we have come up with the ideal power setup. Typically, from the genset, from the utility service, you have the genset, you have the automatic transfer switch, and then the UPSS, then the panel board, and then your equipment. Okay, this is highly medyo technical, but I will explain it in the level mode. Okay. Okay, first level is the utility grid. If you're, let's say, in a cyber zone area, normally what they have is electrical grid in sometimes dual. Sometimes they are connected to a priority grid. If you're sitting there, if your center is sitting there, you're in good shape already. So we should always think that we should have a backup of what we're using. Next level is the provision of generator. 5-10 years ago, most of the building are providing 100% redundancy. That 100% redundancy is no longer effective nowadays. It should be N+1. You have one running, you have one backup. For other cyber zone area, what they provided is one running, one backup, plus one mobile genset for the backup to the backup. So that is how other provider treat treat the generator as a backup power to the utility power failure. No? So, if let's say both of the utility power and then generator actually meets, we call them automatic transfer switch. Or sometimes they call it switch gear. Okay? This is automatic. Madalas dito kasi yung automatic transfer switch, hindi siya nagiging automatic. It becomes a failure minsan dun sa electrical system. So what happened is, you should have a backup to this. There should be a manual bypass for the automatic transfer switch. Next level. The provision of the UPS system. If you have a UPS at 100%, it is no longer effective nowadays. Again, so we should provide an N+1 for the data center and N+1 for the production. Did you naintindihan niyo N+1? Naintindihan na natin, no? Kasi BPO tayo, we should live with this, no? N+1 redundant, always redundant, okay? So, in our company, we also provide a redundant on the panel board. So if you have, let's say, one panel board running, we still have one backup. Next. And then for the data center, let's say you combine the two banks, the UPS and the UPS for data center and UPS for the production, you combine them, and you literally connected it and in parallel, you will arrive at N+2 or 2N+2 for one equipment. So meaning in a nutshell, it's like for one server, there is four alternative supply. So 4 downtimes before you encounter downtime, no? Four failure before you encounter downtime. Next, please. So okay, in your setup, in your company, you have like in a data center, you have single corded load. I don't know if you will understand it, but I will explain this. One UPS, one isolation transformer, one PDU, and then one rack. All 100%. Before, this is okay. But nowadays, this is not good. Next, please. Okay, so you provided one more UPS without understanding the nature of the redundancy. You just provided one more UPS, but there's still a single point of failure. This is static transfer switch, by the way. Static transfer switch it's like a gadget wherein it can accept 2 inputs and then 1 output. If one fails, you still have one more. But this one is still a point of failure, a single point of failure. So this is not good. Next, please. So you provided additional isolation transformer to make it, like an N+1. But still, the PDU is a single point of failure. Next, please. So what you did is dual, replicate the PDUs. Okay, 2 UPSs, 2 isolation transformer, 2 PDUs, and then you have static transfer switch, and then the PDU again. PDU is a single point of failure. Okay, good in terms of replicating these two.